Verse. Keys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chorus. 2, 3, 4. Interlude. 3, 4. Verse 2, 3, 4. Chorus. 3, 4. Vamp. Breakdown. Verse 3. Keys. Verse 3. Build. Break. All in. Chorus 2, 3, 4. Chorus 3, 3, 4. Tag. Ending. 3, 4.
All right, so that was Hymn of Heaven demo in the key of E, which is the recorded key. Now, if you were singing this in your church, very likely you would lower the key. So I'm going to do a quick demo in the key of D and then in the key of C, just a verse and chorus to show you what those voicings would be. So here's in the key of D. It's kind of nice to start on a D there. How I long to breathe the air of heaven. open voicings, and mercy fills the streets. And notice there's diamonds. And by that I mean you just hit it and hold it. There's not really a lot of pulsing. There will be a day when all will bow before him. And there will be a day when death will be no more. So that's it in D, and then I'll show you as well in the key of C. How I long to breathe the air of heaven, where pain is gone and mercy fills the streets, to look upon the one who bled to save me. There will be a day when all will bow before him. There will be a day when death will be no more. Standing face to face with He who died and rose again. Holy, holy is the Lord. Okay, so there's a couple things that make this song, and I'm going to talk about those now. So some overall tips. When we start, we are playing diamonds, and by diamonds, I mean we hit it and we hold it. And so the first verse, back to the key of E, that's even too busy. So the other thing we're doing is we're playing very simple, like 3-note voicings here. Okay, so these are very simple voicings. 3 notes, 3 notes, 4 notes, resolve, 3 notes, 3 notes, 3 notes, 3 notes, 3 notes. And now a lot of these chords are, in the verses especially, are using open fifths, and you'll see sometimes in the music it'll say E5 or B5. That just simply means there's a major chord with no third in there. It just gives a very open, very simple feeling. Okay, so that's one tip there, is you play diamonds as you begin, and really not until the second chorus do we actually start pulsing. There will be a day when all will bow before him. That's when we really start bringing in that pulsing. Another thing that's a trademark of this song is the tone of the piano, and I've worked for quite a while to get this tone to where I'm happy with it. And all I'm using is the Ableton stock piano, but I've done a little bit of magic with some of the parameters. I don't have any controllers, as you can see. I don't have any faders or knobs to where I can change that sound. But in this song, you'll notice it goes from a very tender piano to actually a very full, rich piano. And in a minute, if you watch until the end, I'll show you how I did that using automation in Ableton. Okay, there is a video called Improve Your Worship Piano by Playing Better Sounding Chords. I would refer you to that if you want to learn about sevenths and seconds and how to do some of these inversions and spice up your playing in that way. As you notice, as we move on throughout the song, the range gets higher and the chords get bigger. So, well, the right hand gets higher, the left hand actually gets lower and more spread out. So by the end, we're playing. And this particular combination in the key of E, the B is your fifth, and E is your first, your 1, and then another 5. That particular combination of chords provides a very driving sound that cuts through that last chorus. Let it be today, we shout the hymn of heaven with angels and the saints. So if you want to go to that in the last chorus, it'll really drive it home. Okay, the last thing I'll mention is there's a few octave passages in here. So we get it going into the chorus 2 and chorus 3. Okay, so hopefully you're comfortable with stretching an octave. If not, you could do those with one finger. Let's see. He shall reign. It just really helps draw the listener into that last chorus, and it helps make your playing more interesting. So that's one thing that you could do. That also happens in the interludes and in the end. And I think this one's nice to end on an open fifth chord. All right, so those are some of the tips for Hymn of Heaven. If you're playing it by yourself, you may want to play a little bit more sooner. If you're playing with the band, you may want to scale back and play simpler. I will recommend where it has the no chord on the end of verse 3, forever He shall reign. If you're playing by yourself, you may want to put maybe like a 4 chord there. Sing, worthy is the Lamb who was slain, forever He shall reign. Just to give some tonality. There's not really a choir and those orchestral sounds if you're just playing by yourself. So you could just hold out a 4 chord there, maybe even just with your left hand. Forever He shall reign. That's up to you. You can experiment and see what you like. That's one thing I might change if I were playing alone versus playing with a band. Okay, so let's talk about this automation in Ableton. I want to show you exactly how I did this with the piano. So I've used the Ableton stock piano here, and I'm just going to play back what I just recorded so you can see some of these parameters changing as the song goes on. Okay, so here's how this goes.
Verse. Keys.
All right.
1, 2,
So
3,
you can see I've started
4.
with the brightness, the tone, and the soft hard fairly low. That gives me a very mellow sound. The only other thing I've put on here is a plate reverb that did not come stock with Ableton, but you could use any reverb. I'll turn this up. Listen how mellow and nice that piano is. And you see these slowly going up. Here's what the automation
Chorus.
looks like.
2.
There's a
3,
gradual
4.
increase. All right, the same thing for the brightness and the tone. That general shape is through the entire song. Brightness, tone, and soft hard. Now the soft hard, I didn't like it all the way to 0, so I
3,
made this to 15.
4.
Listen.
Verse 2.
Got really tender there.
3,
Picks
4.
back up. And now we're continuing to climb. So I thought this was pretty neat. It's a way to get around having to have a controller to adjust these parameters manually, which would be difficult to do while you were playing anyways. But you can see we start with almost nothing on the brightness, and it's very mellow. And then as we get to the first chorus, it opens up, shoom, goes back down for the intro, picks back up where we left off, keeps climbing, shoom, goes down for verse 3, and then we've got a pretty drastic climb to the end of the song. And then it sucks down again for the end of the song here. So I enjoyed doing that, building that, and it adjusts for you as you play. All you need to do is hit the notes, and it does its thing. So you can hear, I'll show you a drastic kind of change here, and you can hear the difference. So he who died and rose again. Listen to the piano soften
Vamp.
up.
Breakdown.
Pretty neat.
Verse.
So that's a trick that you can use to take automation and allow it to make your instrument even more dynamic. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope this helps you learn this song. It's a beautiful song. Happy practicing.